Welcome to the Rise Up For You podcast, where thought leaders, entrepreneurs, and executives from around the world share their practical tips, strategies, and stories to help you unleash your potential and achieve your goals. Your journey of growth to become your best starts now.
Welcome to the Rise Up For You podcast and web series. This is your host, Nasserdeen, and the CEO and the founder of Rise Up For You. Today, I'm alone. I know if you're a regular guest, then you know that every week I bring amazing thought leaders, entrepreneurs, executives from around the world to share strategies on how we can be our best, push our potential, not only as an individual, but also within organizations, within your team, teaching the skills and talking about the things that we normally don't talk about, especially in the workplace, right? That emotional intelligence, that confidence, how to really, really be your best and what are some tangible tools to make that happen. But today I want to talk with you a little bit about how much the world is changing, right? The world is constantly shifting and the workplace is right along with that. So the big question we constantly get from our clients, from professionals, how do we continue to navigate in a world that just seems like every year there's something different, right? Now, honestly, I'm not sure if this is much different than it was 50, 60 years ago, but what I can tell you is that social media, marketing, all the media news channels, it might seem like it is because now we're more exposed to it. But neither here nor there. How do we continue to pivot and adapt to all the changes that are happening in the world to stay competitive, not only in the corporate workplace, but also as an entrepreneur? So how do we as individuals and as organizations, how do we become extraordinary? How do we go beyond ordinary, right? So that we can continue to, what I always say, be seen, be heard, and be relevant. Now, if you're familiar with Rise Up For You, you know that our superpower is training and coaching around soft skills, right? Emotional and social intelligence, impactful leadership, personal branding and presence, and really the energy that we carry in a room and how we communicate. Now, we believe in those skills for a reason, because we firmly believe that even in times of change, when so much is going on, that these are the skills that are going to save you. These are the skills that are going to help you not only personally and professionally. So with the artificial intelligence coming, we just got out of post-COVID. Some people are really, really feeling the recession. How do we go beyond ordinary and become extraordinary? So I want to share with you 5 soft skills that you, your team, your company need right now. Not tomorrow, not in a year from now, but right now. Now is the time to start investing in you, invest in your people with these skills. There's 16 soft skills that are absolutely critical. I'll put the article in the show notes. I wrote an article on this, but today I'm going to share with you just 5. First one, emotional and social intelligence, right? I love talking about emotional intelligence. It's the number one training we do around the world for organizations because it is so important, but I will say that it's very, very underrated. So when we ask people, what's emotional intelligence? Most people say self-awareness. Not wrong. That's a great answer. It is self-awareness, but there's so much more to it. Did you know that emotional intelligence is comprised of 18 dimensions? And in those dimensions lie leadership, team resolution, right? Empathy, active listening, situational awareness, how to read a room, communication, intrinsic motivation, internal achievement, stress management, well-being, and that's just half of the dimensions that I mentioned to you. So emotional intelligence is very, very robust, and I will tell you that most of the challenges that we come across in the workplace, EQ is where it's going to start, right? Understanding your emotions, how to manage them, whilst at the same time understanding how to manage and positively influence the people that are in the room with you. Number 2, self-confidence. Self-confidence is part of emotional intelligence. It's under pillar number 1, self-awareness. It's the 3rd dimension, right? And we talk a lot about that. 83% of professionals say their number 1 challenge is self-confidence. I will tell you now, and I have seen this in organizations, and I've seen this in executives that sit across from me. You can have all the PhDs in the world. You can have all the master's degrees in the world. You can have all the certification in the world. You can be an absolute genius. But if you don't have the self-confidence to take action and to communicate effectively, all those technical skills are not going to serve you the way that they could serve you, right? confidence is going to be critical in pushing yourself and your organization to the next level. And it's also very, very important when it comes to making decisions that are in alignment with who you are. Soft skill number 3, collaboration. Collaboration. We live in a world where we need to have counsel and collaboration around us. We like to call it collective intelligence as well, right? So not only are you collaborating with the people that are in your organization, the people on your team, but you're also out there building relationships and collecting collective intelligence with other people that are in similar industries so that you have a strong pulse on what's going on in the world. And specifically, if you're an entrepreneur, me being a business owner myself, collaboration was absolutely necessary for me to build my company, right? No man, no woman is an island. You need great minds and people to come together that can help support you. Soft skill number 4, communication. This goes back to emotional intelligence and confidence, right? You can be an absolute genius up here, but if you don't know how to communicate effectively, okay, communication that's effective means that what you're saying, the receiver, the audience, whoever it is, understands it and resonates and connects with it the way you intended them to, okay? So, I always hear people say, well, I communicated effectively. I'm like, well, the reality is that if they didn't understand what you said, the effective part, not bueno, it wasn't there, right? So effective communication is when you and the person or persons that you are connecting with, you're speaking the same language. You understand exactly what's going on and you're on the same wavelength. So if that's not happening, then that's not effective communication. That's you just talking, sharing ideas and hoping that they're going to land. And soft skill number 5 is problem solving. How many of us have had that team member that comes to you that just says, just tell me what to do? I've been there. And in your brain, you're thinking, no, I don't want to tell you what to do. I want you to solve the problem. I want you to be a critical thinker. I want you to take a risk and try for it as long as it doesn't cost millions of dollars. Let me just put that in there. Okay. I want you to take a risk. I want you to be a critical thinker. I want you to go for it. And then we can work through it together if you can't solve the problem on your own. Right. And again, living in a world of artificial and social intelligence and these constant changes that are happening in the workplace, which are beautiful, by the way, we just need to know how to have the skills and tap into the skills that can help balance and actually embrace, some of the technology and artificial intelligence, problem solving, resiliency in the workplace, adaptability, being able to pivot. That's going to be critical. So again, my name is Nasserdeen. I'm going to continue saying it. If you are not investing in these skills for yourself, if you're not investing in these skills in the workplace, you're in trouble. So really, really understand that these soft skills are going to be the forefronting skills in the next 2 to 3 years. And it's not going to stop. Okay. It is absolutely the skills that are needed for adaptability, for effective communication. I mean, think about this. In 10 years from now, half of our degrees are not going to matter. So what are we going to need to rely on in order to stay competitive and keep growing in our organizations and as a company? It's going to be those soft skills. Thanks for joining me today. If you want to get a hold of the other 11 soft skills, you can head over to riseupforyou.com. I'll put the notes in the show notes here. I'll put the URL link. It's an article that I wrote. I share with you the top 16 soft skills that you need today. Again, Nasserdeen here with the Rise Up For You podcast and web series. Thanks for joining me. We bring you episodes every single week, twice a week. Sometimes it's with me by myself. Sometimes I'm with a team member. And most of the time it's with extraordinary people from around the world that are making an impact that want to share with you. Thanks for joining, and I'll see you next time. My name is Nasserdeen.